Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
Some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken about a yard deep. Still on his feet. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. The reigning league MVP Lamar Jackson trotting onto the field and leading the way now in his third season in the National Football League as this Baltimore offense gets set to go.
And to me, he's one of the two most difficult guys in the league to game plan for in the NFL, and I add Patrick Mahomes in that category. But just about every team we talk to getting ready for Lamar Jackson says the exact same thing. We've got to slow him down running the football, yet no one's been able to really do it consistently. Now, the most impressive thing about his game to me, how he's developed as both a passer and a leader. His team believes in him.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? Then we get him in the second round. That's what I call a steal.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. Let's go! I mean, what more can you say about Lamar Jackson? We know that he's got the quickness and the agility, but, you know, if you wanted proof of his straight-line speed, look no further.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the numbers here don't lie. According to the next-gen stats, he topped out at an even 22 miles an hour. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 15-yard line.
Here's Dobbins. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the Vikings 7-yard line.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the 1st quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
And the Ravens lead it 7-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Kick it away following the touchdown. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
The debate about Kirk Cousins continues to rage both among Vikings fans and fans around the league. But when you look at his numbers, you think this is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Last year broke a string of 4 straight 4,000-yard passing years with the emergence of Dalvin Cook in the backfield. So while those numbers dropped, he was still solid throwing the football. 26 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions. Now he's just got to develop an extra target on the perimeter in order to get his numbers back to the previous levels.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving. Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And now another one thrown incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them will be keep it kissing on the ground.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, He was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's got some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 32 yards as we inch our way to the 2-minute warning. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Man, Lamar Jackson, and we all know it, but he is just so elusive with the football.
I don't care how many times you go through tackling drills at practice and how many different situations you put guys in practice. It's not the same as trying to get Lamar Jackson on the ground. He forced 42 missed tackles last year. That's twice as many as any other quarterback in the NFL. To your point, very difficult to get him down.
Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it?
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson as the first half is winding down, and the Ravens will extend their lead. Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind you're thinking Lamar Jackson got in the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. fielded near the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Final play of the half, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. Starting the third quarter with Cook. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded at the 20. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start by running the option to the right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
What you talking about, man?
Well, they frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Flushed out right. He'll run it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. Now Jackson on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Covered by Jeff Gladney.
Throwing again. Jackson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball at the 24 and a second and 11. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Now Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews there to make the grab. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And it is now 21-0. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will come out to the 25 as Osborne elects not to return it. And out now come the Vikings.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. The throw complete to Beebe. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
And the Vikings 1st down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out of the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play. Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
And that is incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Broken tackle. A beautiful fake.
Yes, Peter.
It's a ball game now, baby.
How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate. I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Throwing is Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Jackson on target to Brown for a Ravens first down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
First down, Dobbins, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
That's another Baltimore first down. First and 10 at the 49.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.